Welcome to On the Chain. Chip here, flying the plane solo. We're going to be building this sucker together as we're flying it. That's how I like to roll it. Today we have a lot of cool stuff to talk about and break down. OTC fam. We've got Ripple lawsuit ends. So I know we've all heard about that and celebrated it. Major legal victory for Ripple, and that happens because of one reason and one reason only. We'll talk about that. A new Sydney Sweeney ad drops. Will it stop? When you find success, you kind of have to step on that gas pedal and sort of go full blast. Trump's. We're going to talk about some of the big wins that have happened over this past week. Lots of stuff going down, and also a U.S. tech surge. All that and more right here on the chain. You guys ready? Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Welcome everybody to On the Chain. Jeff is still away on assignment. He's still in South Korea. I hope he hasn't ventured into North Korea. I don't know where he is, but he's somewhere. I think he's in Seoul, but I'm not sure. But he'll be back soon. I don't know if he'll be back tomorrow night. I don't know if he'll join today, but he will be back soon enough. I'm pretty sure he'll be back by Wednesday. And I wanted to do a show this past Wednesday, but just got caught with just not too many things and not being able to get back in time. And that's how it goes. You know, if Jeff was here, he could have done it, but that's how it goes. I see that people are already piling in. Guys, drop where you're coming in from. I'm looking at the Yeti. We got one Yeti entry so far. Just one. That's fine. One is good. One is good. But that's really fantastic. Sup, says Davey X. Mike's in here. Good morning. Chad, be home safe on the highway. What's Chad say? Through a unwell placed accident. Snarl everything for 5. Oh, that's no good. No good. Sorry about that. That's never any fun. Where are you coming in from? Homestead, Miami. So let's see. What else do we have here? Yeah, this Chad's right. This is how you have to do it. You have to hit the like button on your way in. Why? I watch tons of videos. I forget to hit the like button all the time. Sometimes I'll watch a whole 20-minute video and I'll realize, oh crap, I closed the window. I never even liked it. That does help the algorithm. It does help if you like it. If 300 people pile in here and there's only 20 likes, not a good sign. The algorithm says people came in, but not a lot of people liked the video. So that's always a very good thing. Something I got to look forward to. So let's do that. And let's see what else we have here. I'm going to go ahead and put up some, let's talk about some stories. Jump right into it today. Guys, where are you guys? Let's see. What do we else we have here? Just looking in here. Jeff Rome's coming in morning. We got Savannah, Georgia. David Brown coming in. Hey. Missed you. Good. Yeah, I missed you guys as well. Good morning. Just got in. Hit the like button automatically. I love that, Laurel. See, Laurel has the mindset. Jim D's in here. What's up, Jim D? Jim D, what's going on? Let's talk about this. So the Ripple case officially ended, which is a great thing. But let's talk about why that happened. People are like, oh, this is great, and yay. And it happened because of an election last November. And we all knew what was coming because there was a promise. And promises made, promises kept, right? Pro-crypto SEC chair. I don't like some of the shenanigans that are going on around the SEC. Like when the SEC's coming out and saying, oh, we've got this crypto thing, we're doing this and that. I'm like, no, you're not. Just sit back, relax, let Congress make the rules, and you won't have hardly anything to do with crypto because it'll be the CFTC. But they're like, we're making new rules. So it's like, okay, when the other guy was in there and they were anti-crypto, oh, we were mad. Why are they making up rules? But when the new guy comes in, he's pro-crypto and he's making up rules, we're like, yeah. And I see it celebrated all over X. I see it all over the socials. And I'm like, hello, did you guys forget how government works? Or are you guys just too happy, too excited to talk about the pro-crypto stance? I get it, but the SEC doesn't make rules, okay? It's the Congress that puts the rules into place. It's the SEC. They're soldiers. They carry it out. That's all they do. They enforce it. And if there's clear rules, they'll enforce it. But if they're going to start talking about what's possible, what's not possible, you can't go back to the 33 and 34 laws. You can't go back to the 47 Howey test. I mean, it's going to be rewritten. And when this legislation is passed, the SEC will have this much to do with crypto. So that's the other part that I'm having a hard time with. And I'm thinking to people like, am I living in the Twilight Zone? Am I living in some sort of like some sheltered place? I'm like, do you guys not? has everyone gone, just brain dead overnight because we're all excited? There's a pro crypto president. I find it hard to believe, but yes, in fact, that's true. I have to go on post, and I got to be that guy. Like, hey, this is fun. It's a nice sentiment, really fun thing to say and do. But guess what? They don't make the rules. I don't like the new guy trying to come in and define what rules are any more than I want the old guy to kind of come in and define what those rules are. So, wait a minute. Hang on a second. I think I hear something. Hang on. I think I hear Jeff. Hang on, Jeff. Jeff, is that you?
What's going on? It is.
Dude, what time is it? It's darkness over there.
It's 9:30. Check out that view.
9:30. Is that Seoul?
That is.
Good. I wasn't sure if you got my text or the link that I sent you.
Yeah, we're just waiting on a Uber taxi.
Right on. I was just talking about the SEC and how everybody was getting excited about because they're making up new rules about it. I'm like, they don't make the rules. They don't make the rules. There go my balloons. And I'm like, the people went brain dead overnight and they forgot how the government works, Jeff. But because our guys in there, we're excited. We're gonna make new rules that are gonna be awesome. I'm like, no, sit back. The CFTC is gonna.
The FCC.
Yeah. Where you guys headed? Dinner?
We just got done with dinner. Now we're headed down to Knoxon Mountain to go see the wall that goes around the city. There's a nice wall at night. So.
Okay, nice. And when are you heading back here, man? When are you back on the stateside?
Tomorrow.
All right, so tomorrow, which means that you'll miss the tomorrow broadcast. What time are you heading back? Yeah, so you'll be back on Wednesday officially in the captain's chair.
Yep, be back officially.
Had a good trip though?
Yeah, it's been good.
Weather's
got
been
out
good.
About pretty much. Yeah, rained a bit today, but overall it's been hot. Now it's nice and pleasant.
Rained every day here, Florida weather. It rains all the time. Rain. So nonstop rain.
The weather here was pretty much like home.
Oh, really? So it's humid then.
Yeah, it's been ultra humid here.
Like, how are the Uber rides? How much does it usually cost you?
What?
The Uber. How much does it usually cost you to like get around in town?
So the taxis are relatively inexpensive. We took an hour taxi ride today, and it was let's see, it was 21 at a 30%. So it's like $14.
What? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Holy cow, man.
It was funny. The other night it was raining and I had to go down the hill. So we're staying in this house way on the top of the hill, which I think I had showed you before. And then it was raining, so there was a chicken place at the bottom of the hill. I was like, do I take an Uber down the hill or do I take an Uber back up the hill? So it was raining. I'm like, oh, it sucked to walk in the rain. So it was like down the hill. No. The guy, it took him longer to come and pick me up than it did to take me down the hill.
He's like, and then, you dumb American. You lazy dumb American.
It was like 5-1. So it was like $4 to go down the hill.
He's charging the bare minimum. All I gotta say is, I know the place you're staying at, and you better document it so you can show it on the program.
Right? Yeah. I'll take some pictures of it.
Yeah. Take some good ones.
I'll do a video walkthrough.
Yeah, do it slow, nice and easy. Yeah. None of these, and none of this stuff, dude. Yeah. I won't accept it. I will not accept it.
All soccer mom stuff.
Yeah, soccer mom. Or if you're in the UK, football mom. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I was watching the Oasis concert. Everyone's got their phone out and they're jumping up and down. I'm like, that's going to be real watchable. They're jumping up and down with their phones all over the place.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I guess the audio. So good, man. The fam's having a good time. Everyone's well rested.
Everyone's having a good time. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, I'm glad you could at least jump on for a little bit here.
Yeah, it's good. Here's Aaron.
Say hi to the peeps. Say hi to the peoples. Hey there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny that it's night there and here it is daytime here. So
right. It's weird to get used to it.
Well, the weird thing is when you come back, that's when you're gonna really, I remember coming back from Australia. That was brutal, dude.
Oh, I know.
Because you
But
just start
everything's
getting
still on
used
the
to it.
same. Exactly. No, I'm used to it now. Yep.
Are you
Yep.
sleeping in? Are you
But
sleeping
first,
the night or no?
uh,
Are you sleeping the
yeah, I
entire
am
night?
now.
Nice.
Yeah. I was waking up, like I'd go to bed at midnight, wake up at 4 a.m. and I was wide awake and I'm like, oh, now I'm awake.
Chef, how many flights did it take you to get there?
2.
See, just 2, man.
Flight. Atlanta
Just
direct
2.
flight.
There you go. And how long is that flight about? 12,
15
15,
hours.
15 hours. Yikes.
That part was brutal.
That was like
How
when we
much
went to Australia
working
from
on
LA to
the
Sydney. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. That LA spot I think killed us.
well, it was the 9 hours, and it was the 9 hour layover that probably contributed to the, yeah.
That part was brutal.
We ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the lounge. It was
Right.
like, did these people
Thank
move in
God.
here? What the heck's going on, man?
Right. Yeah. At least we got to see everything plus take a shower in the lounge. So it was perfect.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. I'll
that's
see if I can
that's
get a better view here on the
no, that was cool showering in the lounge, dude. What a nice shower, man. I felt rested.
oops.
Rested for a 15-hour flight.
Exactly. There you go. Look at that.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
There you are, man. Beautiful. Look at that.
If
Look
you
at how
can
the
see
city
it,
lights up like that. It's wild.
yeah, yeah, it's beautiful. Plus,
Cool
it's
the
a
way.
full moon. You can see almost full moon, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how that lights up, man.
Had to get a little darker there. Yeah.
And how are
It's a
you
beautiful
finding
city.
how are you finding the people there? Are they super
Awesome.
nice? Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's like really, really friendly and nice.
You see a lot of tourists over there, a lot of American tourists, and no?
I've seen a handful, but not really a ton of people. Not a lot of tourists.
Really?
Everywhere we go,
It's all
pretty much.
right.
We were down in Busan for a couple days, which is more, Miami-esque,
Yeah.
kind of like beachfront. And so went down there for 2 days, and that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
And
you
there
sent
we
me some
saw,
cool pictures.
a few people from. I saw some tours from Italy, from different countries. I've heard a couple Americans, but not many, which is pretty surprising
That is
overall.
wild, man. I'm surprised there's not
Yeah,
more
yeah,
people there. I
yeah.
know
It's
that
awesome.
yeah, I was gonna put this picture up there. There it is right there. That's
Oh
Busan
yeah,
Airport,
there you
right?
go. That was
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that was Busan.
Dude, I thought that was Miami Beach. I was
Not
like I was like, looks like Miami, or it looks like when we were in Australia, the Gold Coast, a little bit like
the
the
Gold
Gold Coast
Coast, right?
too.
That's what I kept thinking.
How the
As we
condos are
were
very
in
close to
Canada,
the,
the Gold Coast.
yeah, it looks more like actually like the Gold Coast because the taller buildings, because the on the beach in Miami it's a little bit more
Right.
regular
Exactly.
structures and stuff. But the beach doesn't look that populated though, man. There was not seem that many people on
Well,
there.
not in that area. So it was crazy though. The rest of the beach, the one day we're there, there's like nobody. There were people surfing. Then you went down further, they had umbrellas, and there were like millions of people. And I'm like, why is everyone over here? Nobody's in the surfing area.
Yeah, it was wild, man. Yeah, then you went to a match. There's the pitch right there.
Oh yeah,
Looks like a great
that was
stadium,
kind
man.
of cool. Yep, beautiful stadium over there.
Do you want? Is it okay if I show the picture of Aaron or no?
Yeah, if you want, it's cool.
Let's see, there's Aaron down on the pitch there, man.
It is.
They
Yep.
let you walk. They let you walk down there.
Yeah, yeah, that was really nice. Yep.
Nice, cool, man. That's freaking awesome.
That was
Yeah,
beautiful over there.
yeah. I can't wait to see the pictures, man. What a cool
Yep.
trip.
Yeah.
What
Yep.
a cool ass trip. I know my wife and I are gonna venture over there. We were gonna originally go to Korea, but I think we might just go to Japan and then maybe just go to Korea for a couple days.
Yeah. Yep.
Since I've never
That'd be
been over
good.
that, I've been all over Europe and I've been all over South America and I've been to Australia, but I've never been really to Asia, anywhere in Asia.
Yeah.
So that'll be
All right.
good.
Well, I gotta jump. Taxi's about to be here.
All right, my man. Well, listen, have a good one.
All
Thanks for
right.
coming and checking in.
Yep. Yeah.
Everyone,
Glad I gave
OTC
it a pop
family
in.
misses you, man. OTC family
All
misses
right.
Jeff. Jeff's rant. You better
Couple
have
more days, we'll be back.
coming back.
Got some good rants prepared.
All right, man. Sounds good, man.
All right, man.
Have
All
a good
right.
one.
I'll check
Yeah.
you out later.
Bye.
Yep.
Bye. All right. Well, it's cool. I wasn't sure if Jeff was going to check in, but I texted him the link, and also I'd pass it to him over on Signal as well. So it's good, man. It's good to have him check in, and he's having a great time. Love that. Love that. Love it, man. Jeff, ouch. Yeah, ouch. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like St. Louis's new field. Yeah, this looks beautiful, man. Beautiful. So I want to talk a little about this. We started talking about, so the parties filed a joint, this is the SEC and Ripple filed a joint dismissal of appeals. Case is over. Boom, done. And again, we know why it's over. There's a reason it's over, because we got a pro-crypto president. We have a pro-crypto, majority Congress. Got some laggards called Democrats, but some of them are getting on board, which I like to see. It's really a nonpartisan issue when it comes down to it. And Stu Alderati checked in. Stu Alderati is, I want to get his title right, he's a chief legal officer over there at Ripple. And he said, following the commission's vote today, the SEC and Ripple formally filed directly with the Second Circuit to dismiss their appeals. The end. And now back to business, back to our regularly scheduled program. It's over. What a journey it's been. Congrats to everybody who helped throughout that. We saw a little bit of a pop on the news yesterday. We saw a little bit of a surge, which was nice to see. And then none other than XRP McLew. He's not in here today because it's early for him. He's West Coaster. But he said, am I the only one that sent Gary a thank you note today? Well, so let's drill down on this. He's like, hey, Gary. And by the way, so it's Gensler at MIT.edu, right? That's his university address, because he's over there at MIT. But this, I'm going to read this, a little small, maybe you guys will see on the screen. But he says, hey, Gary, I hope the new job's going great and you're not lying daily like you did to your prior gig. I just wanted to send a note to thank you for allowing me so much additional time to buy XRP, not a security, in parentheses, to position myself and my family for a very bright future. I'm sure many have told you before what a complete piece of shit you are, and pointed out the numerous times you lied and misrepresented the truth to the American investors / shareholders in the financial and crypto communities. You were supposed to be protecting, and in parentheses, and I'm not even referring to when you were bitch Hillary's campaign CFO. Boom! Holy cow, dropping the hammer. In short, your tenure at the SEC will go down as one of the worst of all time. And thank God you will never again hold such a position. That said, myself and a few of my friends were able to massively capitalize on your corruption and manipulation. So I just want to reach out and say thank you. Really, thank you, LOL. Below is a doc you might find fun to review. Appreciative always, Rob. P.S. My condolences to the parents paying tuition to have their kids instructed by you. As for the students, well, I'm sure they'll just sit in class and laugh at you daily, right in your face. And so he attached the dismissal of the SEC. Everything Gary did was just a joke. It turned out to be a big nothing burger. He wasted everyone's time, wasted the court's time. You know, Torres wasn't that happy when it went before her, but it's great that, again, the reason this happened is because we've got somebody who's pro-crypto. Now, there is a case that happened in New York recently. I don't know why it was pursued in the Southern District of New York, that I totally disagree with. I think it's one of the first big blunders of the Trump administration, going after, again, a crypto-based project, which there's other ways to settle this, but we'll probably break that down when Jeff gets back. But that was a very poor taste, in my opinion. Stuart Alderati, he's kind of like running this whole National Cryptocurrency Association. And part of what's really fun about that is the fact that let me get in this. Let me get this here. Let me see what Chad says. Chad's saying biggest part of the SEC's waiver of bad actor status because the lower court injunction still exists. He should probably have sent an email to Jay Clayton too. Yeah, remember, if you guys were around when it first dropped, I said two things are going to happen. We'll probably get clarity faster than Congress will deliver clarity. Check. And we may want to send a box of chocolates to Jay Clayton when it's all said and done. Check. So 2 checks. Boom. Who got it right? We got it right over here at OTC. I'm just saying we got it right. And we absolutely thought that we would get to clarity. Now, did we think it would take years? No, I did not think it would take that long. But XRP being ruled in July 13th, 2023, with Judge Torres' ruling XRP is not a security, actually beat any sort of legislation that was passed by Congress. So again, we're right there too. And it turns out, yes, we're still, holy moly, I'm still here, Chip. Feel a huge responsibility with wealth. This is the distribution of wealth is all about. Good to see you, man. We're all still here. It's great that we held. It's fantastic, man. Loving this a lot. So Stu Alderati, I like what he's doing with this National Cryptocurrency Association, because it's a really easy way for people to kind of go and learn about crypto, and he's kind of like heading it up. And he wrote a nice little op-ed here. He said, cryptos has long been misperceived as a trustless system. In reality, people need to understand the technology before they can actually trust it. In my latest Fast Company op-ed, I share how the National Crypto Association is helping bridge that knowledge gap. And he sure is. And what he was commenting on was this post here: despite crypto's increased visibility in popular culture, media, and markets, confusion still reigns. And according to new research that the NCA conducted with Harris Poll, a big pollster, the real barrier holding back non-crypto holders isn't trust, it's understanding. Read our President Stu Alderati's latest op-ed. So we'll pop over to here, I'll take a look at it. And here it is right here. There's the headline: crypto's real barriers and trust, it's understanding. The industry has a perception problem, but it's not the one you might think. And so he goes on to say that for years, actually, you probably should just listen to this. Let me go ahead and see if I can, let me show this again. Thank you for that, Daniel Smith. Appreciate you, man. Ripple funds and started the NCA. Beautiful, man. Thank you for that support. Always love to see that. And let's take a look here. I'm going to actually see if we can listen to this thing. Let me see. Share the screen. There we go. Let's just listen. It has a reader, so I can just stop it. We can comment along the way, because it's a lot to read. When you're doing this show solo without Jeff, you're like, you gotta, if you stop talking, you feel like, oh wait, did something happen? If people are listening, you ever listen to a podcast and there's like a pause? And then you start checking your audio, you start checking your connection. Did I lose the internet? Something happened? So you always kind of have to be talking here, but let's go ahead and we'll listen in on this.
For years.
Now tell me if you heard that. I played 4 years. Tell me if you heard that.
Crypto headlines have.
Now tell me if you heard that, because I need to know if you guys can hear it, because I don't have Jeff here to tell me whether I heard it or not. So please let me know. Let me know if you heard it. I know we're on a little bit of delay, but someone has to chime in and say, heard it? All right, Chad's first one. Yes, thank you. Beautiful. We got 2 thumbs up. Bird Dog's here. Hey, Bird Dog, what's up? We hear it. We hear it. Great. All right, great, guys. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Justin chiming in. Beautiful. All right, so let's go ahead and listen in. Let's just listen to a little bit of this. This is raw. I've not read this or looked at it yet. So we're going to be doing this together.
For years, crypto headlines have fixated on trust issues, fraud, volatility, and the few bad actors who've given crypto a Wild West reputation. But the National Cryptocurrency Association's new 2025 Crypto Confidence Pulse, a Harris Poll survey of Americans who don't currently hold any crypto, reveals something more fundamental is holding people back: a knowledge gap. Almost 90% of non-holders said they don't feel knowledgeable about buying, trading, selling, or even using crypto. And 49% cited a lack of understanding as the main reason they're unlikely to engage with the technology in the future. Despite crypto's increased visibility in popular culture, media, and markets, confusion still reigns. Perhaps the clearest sign of confusion among non-holders is this: about 41% say they don't know who or what is backing crypto, despite the fact that its core feature is that it has no central backer at all, and 55% admit that researching the space simply feels overwhelming.
Well, that's interesting too, because I don't know about you guys, but like when I share this with friends, I have one friend in particular who's like anti-crypto. I hate crypto. Crypto's bad. And the funny thing, it was one of his arguments was, who backs it? I mean, who actually backs the crypto? What happens? I said, well, who backs the US dollar? He's like, well, the US government. I'm like, okay, what does that mean? I'm like, it's not backed by gold. It's not backed by any precious metal. Like, it's a piece of paper that we've agreed is worth something, and it keeps deflating on an annual basis. On a day-by-day basis, it's worth less. It's why in the 1970s, what you could purchase versus the 1950s versus the 1930s, right? The value has vastly gone down. Things aren't getting more expensive. The dollar is getting very weak. And he came back with nothing when I presented that argument to him. But I don't know. I'd love to curious to hear What are some of the excuses you heard from people? I want to see how like spot on this is, but from personal experience, I want you to drop in the comments. We'll throw some up there. But what are some of the things in early days, or even now, you share with people, you're excited about it, you want to tell them about XRP, you tell them about Bitcoin, whatever it is, Cardano, right? Sui, whatever project you happen to like a lot, you share that. What are some of the things that people said back to you? They don't own crypto, they're a little bit nervous about getting into it, or they just flat out refuse you. So I want to go to those as soon as we finish listening in here.
Non-holders aren't rejecting crypto outright. Many are simply unsure what to think, overwhelmed by jargon, unclear about practical uses and crypto's capabilities. In fact, nearly a quarter of non-holders said they would consider using crypto if they could pay for goods and services with it, something that's already possible today. The barrier to entry can be overcome through education. Confusion is the real risk. That lack of understanding creates space for fear to grow. When people can't easily grasp how something works, trust becomes harder to build, no matter how good the underlying technology might be. Security concerns, 43%, distrust of platforms, 36%, and persistent misperceptions around scams and hacks continue to cloud public opinion. Even for those who are interested in crypto, nearly 1/3 still say they're unsure where to begin, according to our study. For crypto to fulfill its promise as a more inclusive, accessible, and innovative tool, the industry must provide clarity, not just code. That means education that is simple, transparent, and tied to the real-world benefits crypto can offer today. But here's where the data gets especially insightful. Non-crypto holders are not a monolith. The survey identifies 5 distinct personas, each with unique motivations, anxieties, and opportunities for engagement. The curious, already talking about crypto with friends, almost half, 42%, of this group is likely to acquire crypto this year. The trend watchers, watching from the sidelines and intrigued, but need more real-world examples of crypto in action. The skeptics, seeking proof, safety, and oversight, this cohort is most concerned about security, scams, and the perceived instability of the space. The traditionalists prefer legacy systems like banks and credit cards and need clear reasons why crypto matters to their day-to-day. The cautious, unsure where to start and worried they've already missed the boat, but open to learning more from trusted sources. A one-size-fits-all approach to crypto education won't cut it. Each group needs.
All right, let's cut it right there. I want to go ahead and get some feedback from you guys in here. Let's take a look what people are saying. Let's see. Let's look here. Okay, so Justin says they say they don't understand it, but then they don't take any time to learn on their own. That sounds very familiar, Justin. That's very true. It's like, I don't get it. And then there's no more, well, maybe I should take a closer look at this. It's just like, I don't get it, right? So Crypto Bird Dog says, a best friend texted yesterday, hope you still have your Bitcoin. I just got a little, and I wish I had gotten in back when you told us. Interesting. Yeah, I get a lot of those too. Yeah, how's that Bitcoin going, Chip? How's that, what about that XRP? You must be loving life right now. And I'm like, yeah, I told you about it when it was sub 20 cents. They're like, no one's going to buy that cheap-ass crypto. Ray Run says, they say it's a bubble, like tulip bulbs. Okay. Justin, I had one friend say it doesn't make money fast enough, and he doesn't want to wait long-term to make some money. He wants it now. Okay, so that's also a good one too, right? This instant gratification. We live in an instant gratification society. Everything's now, right? That's why we have Uber Eats. That's why we order the food. We want the food. We don't want to get the food. We want it delivered. The restaurant doesn't deliver. You get Uber Eats, like, right? So this is how we live in a society. Everything's instantaneous. Ray Run says every time I talk to a buddy about it, he would look at me and say, tulip bulbs. There you go. Chad says that I've got a friend whose tin hat wearer says it's a scam. If he's a tin hat wearer, he says it's a scam. Really? That's incredible. I'm a tin hat wearer too. I mean, but I don't think it's a scam. So Haley or Holy Moly says Christmas dinner will be interesting. Oh yeah, let's see. Hey guys, you remember? Yeah, for years I've been telling you. Well, let me just say, the funny thing is that people started getting in. A lot of my friends, when it was going up to like $1.80, $1.90, they didn't get into 20 cents when it was on sale, 30 cents, 35, 50 cents forever. They waited, they waited, they waited. And then when it was going up to $1.80, now was the time to buy in. Then I got the phone calls, the text, Chip, what do I do? Where do I go? How do I get this? Can you help me? I think this is going somewhere. And then, of course, it shot right back down, and a lot of them sold it. I'm like, why don't you sell it? At least wait till you get your money back. Oh, I'm just mad. I was a dumb investment, blah, blah, blah. So people are very impatient as well. What else we have? Joe Buddy says, I just watched an old school Little Rascals short where the He-Man Women Haters Club people don't take it seriously. I remember that episode. Don't know why it doubles the message. That's weird. Weird how it does that. Davey X says, I send friends and family videos on crypto, and they mostly have a short attention span and go on with their day. Yeah, you got to keep it short, man. That's why TikTok exists, right? I mean, that's why there's TikTok. That's why there's Insta. That's why what we do is like that's why YouTube Reels. That's like, the Facebook. It's like just flip, 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 flip. And I get caught up in that as well. But you can't have anything too long. Karma Carmichael says, he's in the building. What's up, Karma? You're late. I'm gonna you get a pass, but you're a little bit late here, which is probably the time you thought I was going to start the show, because I did start it a little bit late. Had a series of errors today. XRP Plumbing, thank you for that. He says, I'm working on a book, Crypto for Dummies. I'm working on a book, Crypto for Dummies. There you go, Crypto for Dummies. I think there's one out there already, but I don't even think people are interested in reading Crypto for Dummies. I really don't. I mean, I think that. I have Tony's book, Thinking Crypto's book. He put out a good book that I read. It was a good book, man. It's pretty big achievement to write a book, but he also autographed it for me. I have it sitting over here. Unfortunately, I've got like a bunch of things sitting on top of the book, so I can't grab it without knocking all those other things off. But it's a great book, and I really like it. So it's pretty decent. My dad finally said, "Can you just manage it for me, 10%?" Well, there you go, man. There's something, right? Yeah, Eric, we won. There you go. Long night. Replay, I am. Okay, I understand that. And some people it's early, and for others it's later in the day. So I understand how that works. But anyway, we kind of like really saw the kind of covered the most of where people are at, right? I also think another big barrier that I see personally is like when the people call me, you're like, what do you do? Well, you just go to an exchange. Well, what's an exchange? Well, you have to, that's the place you buy. Well, then what do I do? Well, then you got to hook up a bank account or you somewhere. Well, then, all this stuff, and then get yourself, a cold storage wallet. What does that mean? Well, that's where you're going to store the keys. Is that the crypto on there? No, the crypto's on the blockchain. You're just storing the access to where those keys are. Well, I don't understand how that works. And that's why I thought the banks, when banks are able to, we've got Citibank, we've got another big bank that just rolled out saying that they're going to allow Chase, which is JP Morgan Chase. They rolled out too that they're going to be able to do a deal with Coinbase. And this is going to be easy for people. They go to their bank, they click a button, they click buy, the bank's attached already, right? These are some of the barriers that people get nervous when you start saying, oh, you just go to this exchange and you do this. And some exchanges, if you're not used to the interface, it can be scary, right? People can get turned off by that. They're like, okay, I don't know what to do. They just look at them like, well, you put in how many you want to buy. Well, I don't know. What should I buy, right? It's the whole big thing. If you're hooked up to your bank, people trust their banks. I'm just saying, I'm just saying what people trust their bank. They keep their money at their bank. It's going to make it a lot easier. I think it will onboard a lot more people. But I understand also people want to be able to, if they have crypto and they want to spend it, they don't want a cash event where they have to cash it out. And this whole idea of having this off rails, and people are like, well, you have to have off ramps. You have to have off ramps. Well, there's going to come a day where there will be no off ramps. Just spend your crypto like you would spend anything else. Now, Trump administration already came out and said, the housing sector side, saying that when you apply for a loan, you could actually use your crypto as, before you couldn't use your crypto unless you cashed it out. So let's say you had a bunch of XRP, maybe 20 grand worth, and you wanted, or 50 or 100, whatever it is. And you had a bunch of different crypto and you had other assets. In order to count that as an asset, you had to liquidate it, which is bad to show on your docs to say, yeah, I have this cash sitting in a bank. Now all you have to do is list your crypto of what your holdings are. So you don't have that taxable event either which is a very good thing. But eventually you just spend it like anything else. There's a lot, like crypto.com has a card. A bunch of the exchanges have a card. I know Uphold's rolling out their XRP card again, where you just hooked up your XRP account. You just spend it like it's a MasterCard or Visa, and you spend it like you would anything else. And whatever the exchange rate of that day is, just goes off to buying something. So that's kind of how it works. Crypto Bird Dog says banks offering their stable coins and digital wallets added confusion for retail buyers. Yeah, that's another one. The stable coin, it has added a lot of confusion. People don't understand. They don't understand a stable coin or its purpose or in general. What do you mean I buy it? Because a lot of it's been conflated with, yeah, it's crypto. It's not. I mean, it is. It's a stable coin, but people don't understand that it doesn't really change in value. Now, it gets weird and even more confusing. You go to an exchange and it's just like just under $1, or sometimes it just pops over $1 by point something, and it gets super confusing because you're like, wait a minute, it's pegged to the dollar. Isn't it supposed to always be $1? Yeah, it kind of, it varies very slightly, but I think that's confusing for people also. Yeah, the ETFs are coming. Yeah, 18 total, and that is going to pump the price, guys. If you look at what happened with Bitcoin, that's absolutely going to pump it up. Without a doubt. Scammers are evil people. Guys, do be careful. Man, I tell people all the time, I constantly get Coinbase is, if you didn't reset your password, delete it, block everybody. If you have anything you want to do, never click on a link. I delete all emails, even legitimate emails, I delete them. I don't ever read them. I don't look at them. I don't want a fear of clicking on a wrong link. I just delete them. I block most of the emails. Go log into your exchange. Make sure that you're logging into the proper place. You just want to make sure that I tell everybody, and even family members, guys, don't click on any of these links. If there's something wrong, you got a package, click on this link. There's another scam going around with on X recently. Dirk from Xspector's account got compromised, and people were reaching out saying, "Hey, I'm going to go on a podcast. You need somebody else," and what they do is they send you a Calendly link. Any link, you click on it, and boom, you're in trouble. So you go like, oh, I'm going to go schedule this. And buried in that link is some bad stuff and scamming you out of your crypto. Not a good thing. So just be very careful. Don't click any links, man. I'm never going to DM you. People know if I do DM you, you know who you are. But again, I'm not going to ever ask you for your seed, your money, anything. I still surprised when people are being asked for their seeds, and I'm just like crazy to see that. Guys, look at Mike, Yeti. If I win, give it to someone who hasn't won yet. Painting, it can't stop. The driveway to Florida. Oh, I know that. Good. That's good, man. Well, listen, we only have 2 entries, so you might win. You have a 1 in 2 chance of winning right now, Mike. So it's a good possibility. It's a 50-50 shot that you could win, unless more people start typing in Yeti, YETI. So you got to go ahead and put that in there. What's Zober saying? The federal XRP plumbing here says Federal Reserve control would World Bank monetary cartel runs the United States government. Give me control of the country's money. Can care less who makes the rules. Let that sink in. Yeah, I mean you got to get rid of the central bank, and when the U.S. central bank goes away, they'll all drop like flies. That's the big. That's what everybody's really nervous about. Okay, we're up to 8. That was fast, guys. That was super fast. But I wanted to remind you, make sure that we were up to, getting that done. All right, so let's see. Oh, let me do this. Hang on a second. I see what's going on here. There's something going on. Okay, here we go. All righty, let's do this. I wanted to transition. What is this next bit here? Yeah, so I want to transition over to some geopolitical stuff, kind of talk about some things that are going on in that realm. We kind of went through some crypto stuff there. I think we're like one of the few podcasts that mixes crypto and geopolitics. And that's not a good thing. That second part's not a good thing if you're on YouTube, because that means you are shadow banned, and that means that you are shoved down into obscurity, and that means that you never gain subs despite all the new people showing up. It's very strange indeed, and nothing that I really like. But I wanted to talk about this. So, Sydney Sweeney put out that one ad, and people in the left had a major heart attack. Right, they were really triggered. And what turns out is that they sold out of those jeans very quickly. And American Eagle said, doubled down and said, no, man, we're not changing anything. We're going to stick with what we have. Why would we change anything? It's massively successful. So then we saw something very similar come out of Dunkin' Donuts camp. Instead of, a young actor, a very popular, good-looking dude comes out and starts talking about his tan and starts talking about, the new chiller from Dunkin' Donuts. Well, they got triggered on that too. So I'm like, and also too, I don't know if they don't like the messaging. I don't know if they like it because it's it seems like it's back to advertising the way it used to be, right? And they're talking about jeans, and they're, oh my God, they're talking about this, and white people are like, they're saying they're supreme. I was like, what are you guys watching? It's just an ad, You put an attractive woman in an ad, and well, that's how it works. I mean, I'm sorry, there's 50% of, the good news is that the earth is populated by more women than men, just by a little bit, because they're pretty damn smart. Smarter than us guys, I will tell you that. Almost all the time smarter than us, which is okay. But the other 50% is us cavemen, right? So us cavemen look at a attractive woman. But she dropped another new ad, and this is Baskin Robbins, and this is owned by the same people that do the Dunkin' Donuts. And you might know that in the U.S., you'll see a Dunkin' Donuts that also has a Baskin Robbins inside. It's a weird concept. I actually don't like them. Like, I want my ice cream place to be my ice cream place. I want my coffee place to be my coffee place. I'm a big Dunkin'. I don't like the donuts, but I like the coffee. And I love my Dunkin'. I also get Starbucks. Jeff hates Starbucks, and he hates Dunkin' Donuts. But I got to tell you, I love the Badass Yetis coffee the best. Drinking some Obsidian Bold right here. And it's a strong, beautiful Italian roast. Anyway, this new ad dropped, and I can almost hear the people on the left now going crazy. But let's check this ad out. Hang on a second. I got something to me. I was trying to do it full screen, and oops, I made a mistake. Let's do this again. Let me back it up, guys. Here we go.
Is that Sydney Sweeney? Oh yeah, it is. She really loves our rainbow sherbet. She comes here all the time. Wait, seriously?
He's standing at a window, wanting to come inside.
Your signature scoop is ready.
Thank you. What?
That's so cool. Yeah. It can be.
Summer's looking sweet at Baskin Robbins.
Try my new Sweet on Sydney menu, available at Baskin Robbins nationwide for a limited time.
I like how they put the little blooper in at the end, but to me, it's it's a catchy little ad. But the thing is, what's different about this too is you actually go in there and get her signature. They have a little Sweet on Sydney menu, so they're tying her endorsement into the menu, which is interesting too. And I'm wondering how many people this is going to bring into Baskin Robbins. But the reason it's successful is because again, attractive woman, put her in an ad. You got two guys, like, oh my gosh, she comes here to Baskin Robbins. Yeah, it's a little bit corny, but the little blooper at the end was pretty fun and nice. That was a nice little catchy thing. XRP Plumbing says, nice pink dress. Yeah. How about the banned Coinbase ad? Yeah, the banned Coinbase ad. I knew that was getting banned as soon as I saw it, which speaks to what's really us. Maybe when Jeff gets back, we'll play that ad. We'll chat about it. But yeah, pretty much about the UK and how it's burning down and why crypto is so important. And they said it wasn't really the UK in general, but let's face it, it was, right? And I thought it was a very clever ad. Chad says libs are like seagulls. They swoop in, make a bunch of noise, crap all over everything, and steal your food. That's good. That's a good analogy right there. Let's see what else we have here. V8 says that you know. If you know, you know. Love your thinking, holy moly. Let's see, what else do we have here? Let's see. Just goes to show who the people are, the critical thinkers, and how easily the idiot box controls the masses of people. The BlackRock XRP ETF. Remember the 6 months FAR futures on CME on November 19th, swell in New York, 4th and 5th. November and BlackRock at swell. Right. And didn't we just hear that BlackRock wasn't going to put out an ETF, which basically confirmed that they're probably going to do it, but they don't want to say it right now? But absolutely, that's a good point, V8. If they're going to be at swell on the 4th and 5th. I will be at swell this year. Looking really forward to it. It's going to be fantastic. A really good first time I've ever been accepted. I've applied ever since swell in its inception, so I was very excited to be able to go. It's a privilege to go. They have a very limited amount of people who can go, and I'm very excited to go and see a lot of folks in person too. So that'll be good. Nick says that these ads remind me of the old ads on TV. They do. More about the product, less about the message. Correct. It's a good point. You know, and look, celebrity endorsements, whether you think they work or not, they do. They do work, especially if you tie a menu in. Like, oh, I want to go try one of Sydney's, you know, what something on the menu. Like, it gives you a reason to go in other than like, I endorse this message. I like this ice cream. It's fantastic. This is the best coffee I've ever had, you know, and you know, even podcasters too, they get a lot of sponsors and they try the products. They use them. Most of the time what happens is they'll send you out the product. You get to use it. You do a little short thing and there's some sort of a financial arrangement and you'll see it on the videos. They'll say, you know, in the top left corner of a YouTube video, say that there's some kind of sponsorship. I forget exactly what the word is, but it's something like that. Thank you, man. Thank you. I'm excited to go. I'm hoping to maybe do some live streaming there. Yeah, V8, looking forward to seeing you there, man. Going to be fantastic on the 4th and 5th. And then on the night of the 5th, if you guys are in New York, there is a meetup going on that Wednesday. I want to say on the November 5th. It's free to attend. It is limited capacity. I don't have the post right in front of me, but if you go to, I'm trying to think of where it is. It's somewhere out there. But yeah, I was actually able to register as a discount. They give a limited time, so I had to register quick to get a discount on the on Swell, and it's a very fair price too. So I thought that was really good. XRP was an IQ test. Revisit the Ripple Riddler and BG123 cartoons. There you go. That's why I always say, like, it was just a cartoon bear is the reason I got an XRP. I thought it was fun. I thought it was great. And what other reason would you have? Just give me my invite, says Fred Hoffman. Yeah, he just got my invite. Okay, cool, man. I'll see you there as well, Fred. Come up to me and introduce yourself. Looking forward to it. Just got your invite. Fantastic. There you go. Another OTC fam member going to be there. Got 2 of them already in this chat. That's fantastic. So that'll be great. I don't know if you're talking about Swell, if you're talking about the meetup will be great. And again, guys, it's free. And they're going to give away some merch there. There's going to be food and drink. I think it's like 2 or 3 hours long. But again, that's more community. I know it's put on by Ripple X, so there'll be developers there too, but it's really free for anybody. Developers, holders, it's not necessarily, even though it's Ripple X, it's not just necessarily for developers alone, but you can go to the Ripple X account, scroll way down. They posted it about a week ago, but again, you can sign up for free and you can go ahead and go over that. So that's good. Let's see, what else do we have here? Okay, that's it. Let's go here. So you know, I was talking a little bit earlier about the Dunkin' Donuts ad. Remember, I was telling you guys a little bit about the Dunkin' Donuts ad, and we saw that it was, you know, Sweeney did that, or was it Dunkin' Donuts? Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts was the guy, was the actor. His name escapes me. I'm not real familiar with his work, but his name does escape me. But I wanted to find this. There's a video here. So they did a little spoof with Trump being the king of summer. So here's the spoof on that ad right here with Trump.
Has to be the king of summer. It just kind of happened. There's tan, genetics. I just got my color analysis back. Guess what? Golden summer.
There you go. There you go. So somebody did a spoof on it by replacing his head with Trump's face, and pretty much very take off on the same exact thing, you know. Summer tan, all that kind of stuff. So I thought that was pretty clever stuff. And then we have, let's see what else we have here. You know those ASMR videos? That's where you see them cutting open you know, like an orange, or people. These videos are wildly popular on YouTube, and it's just, you're just hearing the sound of something scraping, watching something, you know, click, whatever. So the White House, again, official White House account, surprising me more and more. But this is the ASMR video of Trump. Here we go. And what it says here is the sounds that libs most hate. Again, posted on the official White House account, and it's Trump signing an EU. The sound of him signing an executive order. The sound they hate the most. I mean, this stuff's posted on the official White House account. God, it cracks me up so much. And so we saw that with Sydney Sweeney. But let's take a look at this. Here we go. This is interesting here. If we take a look, we've got this guy makes a great, DC Drano makes a great analysis right here. He's talking about contrasting two personalities. So on the left, we have Sydney Sweeney. On the right, we have Margaret Sanger. So Margaret Sanger is what founded Planned Parenthood. And Planned Parenthood has the actual opposite effect. Planned Parenthood was created for a very different type of a reason. It's really was where you would go get an abortion. You're not really planning a parenthood. You're unplanning parenthood. And that's mostly what you could do. So Margaret Sanger on the right, and listen to what he says. He says, one of these women founded Planned Parenthood, believed minorities had inferior genetics, and is directly responsible for the abortion of 1 million Black and Hispanic babies. But guess which one of these women were called a racist? Yeah, that's right, Sydney Sweeney. The one on the right, which they're always wanting to fund, which they always want to populate. If you dig into Margaret Sanger, that's what she actually thought. She thought the minorities should be eradicated from the planet. That's why she was hoping that millions of Black babies and Hispanic babies and other minorities would be wiped out. That was her mission. How do you put somebody on a pedestal or an organization on a pedestal when it's so evil, her roots? And if you look at this woman, Margaret Sanger, not a good person at all, but somehow celebrated on the left. And the left just keeps losing this battle over and over and over again. And most people, maybe they haven't done any digging, maybe they don't know her history, but man, not good stuff at all. So I thought that was a very good comparison on those two. More winning. So if you know Gina Carano, she was an actress that she was in the a reboot of one of the Star Trek episode. They did like I think it was The Mandalorian that rebooted it, kind of booted up on Disney. Well, there's just so much winning going on, guys. I don't know if I can take it all. But she said, I've come to an agreement with Disney and Lucasfilms, which I believe is the best outcome for all parties involved. I hope this brings some healing to the Force, talking about the Force in Star Wars. She said, I want to extend my deepest, most heartfelt gratitude to Elon Musk, a man I've never met who did a good Samaritan deed for me in funding my lawsuit. Thank you, Mr. Musk, and for X for backing my case and asking for nothing in return. To my lawyers who walked me through this unknown territory, thank you for your wisdom and guidance. I'm humbled and grateful to God for his love and grace in this outcome. I'd like to thank you for your unrelenting support throughout my life and career. You've been a heartbeat that keeps my story alive. I hope to make you proud. I'm excited to flip the page, move on to the next chapter. My desires remain in the arts, where I hope you will join me. Yes, I'm smiling. From my heart to yours, Gina. And there it is right there. The legal dispute was absolutely settled. But again, the reason she got canceled, and she was a very popular character on The Mandalorian, and she was fired because of some tweets that she put out. I mean, absolutely ridiculous, right? Because she's a conservative and she was criticizing, and then boom, they actually fired her unjustly, right? He fired her and basically canceled her. You saw that Elon Musk put the heart, and she put the heart right back at you. There's Oscar, another OTC fan member. Congratulations, Gina. Very happy for you. Chief Nerd, Woke Mind Virus 0, Gina Carano 1. Rob Smith, congrats, Gina. You're a fighter. We're all looking forward to seeing you back on screen where you belong. Absolutely. She should be absolutely back on screen. Clifton Duncan gives some fire emojis there. So it's really great to see that, it went through. George saying, congratulations, you deserve a win after everything they put you through. I mean, just incredible. So you're seeing a lot of amazing people backing, Gina in this quest. And Elon Musk, you got to give this guy credit. He saw an injustice. He bankrolled her legal defense. Didn't ask for a dime. He just saw an injustice. Same thing as John Deaton saw an injustice, saw that it was something unfair was done, and rallied. And I still think the reason that XRP was ruled not a security has everything to do with John Deaton and his involvement, and 75,000 XRP holders. You guys, you know who you are. The 3,000 that signed affidavits, you know who you are. But John Deaton, tireless pursuit of what's right, in my opinion, that case turned because of John Deaton, because he didn't ask for a dime. He didn't ask for anything. A lot of people tried to give him things, send him things, didn't ask for it. So that's, you know, heroes show up. They don't always wear capes. So it's fantastic to see. This is something that I found incredible. Here we go again. So Supreme Court of the United States, SCOTUS just voted 8-1. It's surprising it wasn't unanimous, but no, 8-1 to give Trump approval for large-scale firings. Amazing. So here we go with SCOTUS greenlights Trump plans for large-scale firings at the federal agencies. The U.S. Supreme Court delivered another win for President Donald Trump, clearing the way for his executive order to downsize the bloated federal government through mass layoffs across multiple agencies. In an unsigned order, the justices overruled a lower court decision that had blocked President's February 13th directive calling for large-scale reductions in force. That freeze came from Clinton-appointed Judge Susan Ilston in Northern California, but the Supreme Court said her ruling was based on her personal view of the order's legality, not the actual reorganization plans, which were not even before the court. It's funny that it wasn't even ruled on principle. She was ruling on personal stuff and wasn't even considering how the reorg was going. She didn't rule on that. That's what's funny about this. Because the government is likely to succeed on its argument that the executive order and memorandum are lawful, and because the other factors bearing on it, whether to grant a stay or satisfy, we grant the application, the court said. Even liberal Justice Sonia Sotomayor joined the majority in granting the stay, though she made it clear she wasn't endorsing the downsizing effort, that it was just too soon to block it. So, but still, I mean, you think about the fact that almost all those judges, only one judge, who was the dissenting voice? I'm trying to think, let's see if it says. Okay, well, it's not a big surprise here. It was Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson dissented, blasting the decision and claiming it could lead to mass employee terminations, widespread cancellation of federal programs and services, and dismantling much of the federal government as Congress has created it. Yeah, that's the whole point there, Justice Jackson. That's the point. The point is it's bloated, and we want mass terminations. We want widespread cancellation of federal programs and services. We're not talking about getting rid of services. We're talking about just paring it down. And she says dismantling much of the federal government. Yes, but if you go back to the founders, they never wanted large government. So, you know, do your research. You're a Supreme Court justice. You ought to know better. My God. Oh man. I mean, but you know, the funny part about it is Justice Jackson. She was even hit up by her own side, right? Her own judges on the left, like just railing her, like, look, you just got to be able to read the legalese here. I mean, it's bad if you're getting the heat from your own side, right? People that sort of side with you and you're getting some heat, which is a big deal. I want to put this up. This is Scott Bessent. There's a little video on him here. Let me pull this guy up here, but let's go. Gosh, I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. My gosh, one wrong button after another. Let's go see if I can see the Bessent thing. So this is Bessent talking on a TV show. He's talking about some of the major investments that happened. A lot of big wins.
These very large commitments, both from governments and from corporates. Tim Cook was in the Oval yesterday. Apple had committed $500 billion of new plant and equipment in the U.S. He's up to $600 billion, and he wants to make Apple an American company in terms of manufacturing, not just design. We've seen Micron Technologies. They were in visiting this week. They're going to put in $200 billion. So we've got trillions and trillions of manufacturing that's going to come back, and we're going to see that over the next couple of years.
That's amazing. Look at Joe Scarborough's face. You know he hates hearing this. You know he's such a Trump hater. He has to sit there with that smug look on his face. You know, even lately CNN can't not report on the wins and also the disaster of what's happening to the Democrat Party. I always say, God, I always tell people I love it. I love what's going on. I go, how can you love it, Chip? I go, because you never interrupt an enemy when they're in the process of destroying themselves. They're doing such a great job of just wiping themselves out. I mean, they're so clueless when it comes to the American people. They're still, I mean, they're on the wrong side of just about everything, right? When they're talking about, like, why would you choose illegals over your own constituents? Why would you know, people are struggling out there, and you're giving people who walked in across the border just free stuff and all this stuff. What about your constituents that are struggling? What about people that don't have food in a place? What about people that are losing their places to live? But no, you're not going to pay attention to that. But you're going to pay attention to people that aren't even citizens. So if you don't take care of your own people, that's a big problem in my book. So I can see why people are angry. And here we have it right here. So Scott Bessent breaks it down. Apple increasing the commitment from $500 billion to $600 billion to build in America, not just design here. And if you ever buy anything Apple, you always see on the package, designed in California. Designed in California, not made in California. So that's what Tim Cook was talking about, wanting to change that. It would face a pretty heavy tariff if they were going to be bringing stuff in. So that's one of the key things they're going to do. They're going to make the chips here. Micron, another computer maker, chip maker, investing $200 billion for production of advanced memory chips. IBM just announced a $150 billion investment over the next 5 years. NVIDIA said it will invest $500 billion in AI infrastructure. SoftBank, OpenAI, and Oracle bringing together $500 billion investment in AI infrastructure. Trillions are coming back, and this is just the beginning. So if you look at this, I mean, we're 200 days into this thing. 200 days in, there's so much winning going on. But the investment of companies, so people said the tariffs wouldn't work. Tariffs were a horrible idea. Even people, well-respected, economists didn't think it would work. Reagan's on record saying that he never thought tariffs were a good idea. Look, times change. When you have these massive deficits where, billions of dollars in deficits where, I mean, if you look at what happens in Europe or if you happen in other places, it's incredible to see that kind of deficit. So look, he's leveling the playing field. And if you didn't step up and you wanted to fight, boom, you got a 40% tariff. So when you look at a 15% tariff, yeah, by comparison, it's looking pretty good at 20% compared to what the alternative is. So you either negotiate and get in there and make a deal, or guess what? You're going to be left outside. And that's kind of how it's gone. So that's pretty interesting. Let's see. What else do we have here? Let's see. Looking through the comments here to see if there's something I could post up here. What are we looking for? Yeah, this is funny. Elon funding a lawsuit is telling Bob Iger, go F yourself. You remember that famous clip where Elon Musk had got on stage right after Bob Iger was up there, and he goes, I don't know if you're out there, go F yourself. Go F yourself. And it was like, everyone's stunned, like, what? Yeah, you want to bribe me? You want to pay? No, go. And so there was another motivation probably behind that lawsuit as well. Karma says market cap total is over $4 trillion. What a way to start the weekend. This is great, man. I mean, imagine when the market cap hits 5 trillion. Imagine when it hits 6, 7, 10 trillion. I mean, 4 trillion is like baby steps, but hey, 4 trillion is massive. We're always around that 2.5 to 3 trillion mark. Hitting 4 trillion. This is phenomenal. When these ETFs kick in and we start seeing the pro-crypto legislation come down, man, we are in for a phenomenal ride where it's all coming together in a very beautiful way. I have to say that for sure. Yeah, can you imagine if Kamala dealing with the world? I cannot, and I don't think the American people could either, which is why I think that she failed miserably. But for the one side of the political spectrum that always complains about democracy, did not put Kamala Harris up for a primary vote. They just said, this is your candidate. Joe's out. This is your candidate. Well, a lot of people argue they didn't have enough time to put a legitimate candidate. They surely have enough time. You can run very easily, put 2 or 3 people in the now. Would she have been the nominee? I don't think so. If they had put some other names in that basket, yeah, they would have had a better shot. Now, you might not have had the name recognition, or maybe she would have won by a little bit just for the name recognition. The point is that you talk about democracy and honoring democracy, which we're not. We're a constitutional republic, but Democrats would love democracy because it doesn't protect the voice of smaller people. A democracy is rural. It's like the masses, and it does not protect the smaller voices, which is why we're ruled by a constitution that tells the government what it can't do, not what it can do, which only one in the world. We're coming up on 250 years, and not one country thought to themselves, man, there's something good going on in the States. We may want to put together something that protects we the people and sort of tells the government what it can't do and kind of protect free speech, the right to bear arms, right? The right not to be, I mean, if you go through all of the amendments, like maybe that would have been a good idea. Nah, let's keep doing it the way we're doing it so we have a total rule. So that's exactly how it is. We got 12 Yetis, guys. Everyone's having a good chance of grabbing a Yeti today. My gosh. Yeah, you could have a convention vote. Convention takes you could do that. I'm really surprised one's never been called. That's something that could potentially happen for sure. And you know, I have to say, like, this was a quiet news story. I don't even like. I was actually surprised because if I had not seen this post, I would have completely, absolutely 100% missed this. You know, we're talking about how Trump, he's an evil guy. He's going to start wars. He's going to start uncontrollable wars, and it's going to just bleed out of control, and it's going to be just absolutely horrendous. Well, here we go. Let's put this video up. This right here, he put together, let me just get the names right here. So I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev and Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan signed a peace and economic agreement at the White House. They have been at it for many years. Did you hear anything about this? Man, I didn't even hear anything about it, but here they are at the White House. This is Azerbaijan president and the Armenian Prime Minister with Trump signing a peace agreement and also economic agreements. This is a big move. Bringing peace around the world, right? But here we go. He also had some peace in Africa as well. Here we go. Look at that right there. You see that? Bringing peace. Did you hear about this story? I want to know if you guys heard.
The United States, the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, and the Prime Minister of the Republic of Armenia will now sign the joint declaration on the outcomes of the Trump Route for International Peace and Prosperity Summit.
That's really
They will
beautiful.
sign 3 copies in English. The President of the United States signs as a witness to the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Prime Minister of the Republic of Armenia, affirming their path to peace, stability, and prosperity. We kindly ask that all guests remain seated for the signing of the documents.
So there you are. So why didn't Biden actually take care of this? Why? Trump is such a warmonger. How come he's bringing peace everywhere? How come he's trying to negotiate peace deals, right? There you are. Amazing. Amazing. Hold it up, gentlemen. Hold it up. Signing. Everyone's signing off on the document. Trump's signing with the witness. You've got Trump in there in the declaration. And let's see if we can hold this up. There it is. Held it up. Signed off by all 3 individuals. It's a huge deal. Oh, that clapping is loud. Smiles everywhere, right? Brought some peace. Peace and economic prosperity. And there you have it. More Trump negotiation skills at work, making stuff happen. Incredible. Just incredible. I want to talk about this next story too. There's so much corruption going on in everywhere, and I'm not going to read all this. There's a lot going on there, but let's just kind of break this down. So NGO that was run by Gavin Newsom's wife got millions in taxpayer dollars, which is then sent to her for-profit organization, giving the Newsom family a benefit of $1.5 million from nonprofit salary and $1.7 million from film and sales licenses. Representation product, Jennifer Newsom's nonprofit organization, receives millions of dollars from the state of California. That project has paid nearly $2 million to Jennifer Newsom's for-profit since 2021, and including a $150,000 annual contracting fee since 2018. Many are now accusing Newsom of funneling taxpayer dollars through his wife's NGO for her profit organization and are calling on a federal investigation. Blah, 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 blah. Tracks it all. But there you go. There's he and his wife, and again, they're just basically money laundering, funneling it through NGOs. Nothing new. I would imagine that happens a lot through Congress, and I would imagine it happens on both sides, where somebody gets money. Never the politician. No. Their family members, a wife, somewhere along the lines of that. I wanted to get into a little bit of. Jim D says, great peace formula. Make peace or rest in peace. That's a good point. Rest in peace. You get to choose. Live or die. And wanted to jump into a little the corruptocrats robbing us blind. Well, look, I mean, politics is a dirty business, and there's corruption on both sides. And that's, and especially if you want to look at the first place, you look at the rhinos. That's where you're going to get a lot. But talking a little bit about the UK, look, I start seeing more and more criticism here. There's this funny spoof ad here, but here this one is. I'm starting to see a lot more of this type of stuff come in.
Nothing beats an illegal working holiday. We pick you up in the Channel and take you right to your 4-star hotel, where you can work illegally, claim benefits, and never be deported. Watch how the British struggle paying the highest taxes since the 1940s while you pay nothing and even receive benefits. All this and more.
There you go. All this and more. Man, the UK is burning down. One of my favorite personalities in the UK is Katie Hopkins. This segment she does usually like a daily or, pretty often, but she posted this one. What does she call it? Batshit crazy. She'll announce it in the beginning, but just listen to this. This is just what she posted on Friday. Check this out.
News here in batshit bonkers Britain, where I'm leaning.
Batshit bonkers Britain. She always starts it off with, I'm from batshit bonkers Britain.
Here in batshit bonkers Britain, where I'm leaning nonchalantly on a bench. First up, Labour in more trouble, this time the housing minister, a lady by the name of, one moment, Rashanar Ali. She's had to resign because she kicked her tenants out of their flat in order that she could put the price up by £700 a month, an increase of 20%. This is a practice that is supposed to be banned by the Labour government, specifically the housing minister. So now Labour have lost their anti-corruption minister because she was allegedly corrupt. They've lost their housing minister because she was making people homeless. What's next? Maybe the justice secretary, a lady by the name of Shabana Mahmood, will get caught nicking cheese down at Asda. Who can possibly say? In other news, Rachel Reeves' ceramic bobhead hair by Lego has taken her hard hat off that she usually wears when she's showing that she's building a better Britain, and she's put on a headscarf to meet her Pakistani constituents. Isn't that charming? She turned up looking like she was going to an arranged marriage in Bangalore. One wonders if it could get any worse for Rachel Reeves, and then one remembers she's just managed to create a 50 billion black hole in the British economy, which taxpayers are now going to be asked to fill. And finally, a lady who identifies as a comedian by the name of Kate Smurthwaite is complaining because in Edinburgh Fringe, nobody showed up to any of her shows. She identifies as a left-wing feminist, atheist, polyamorous activist. I mean, probably she's gluten-free as well. One of the things I'd say to you, Kate, is it's a little bit selfish to imagine that Oasis should schedule their tour dates around you, my darling. But I will say this, because I'm a kind, decent and very funny woman. If you want to see what it's like to see a sold-out show, or maybe a crowd of 1,500 people, then I will invite you to my shows. Just go ahead and purchase a ticket.
Ooh.
I mean, you'll have to join a wait list at katiesarms.com. So katiesarms.com, join the wait list, and you'll see what it's like to be fully sold out and actually rather funny. That's it, my darlings. Batshit bonkers Britain.
Batshit bonkers Britain. Katie's fantastic. She's a great follow if you follow her on X, but there you go. Boom. Boom. She's fantastic. Send tongue-rolled words. Got to be a great kisser. Whoa. Hey now. So how do you spot a fake 20-pound note? How do you actually spot one? Well, someone's come up with this clever one here. Let's take a look. It says the new $20 note has been designed, but be aware of fakes like this one. You can spot the fake because there are only 4 people in the dinghy. So there you are. There's only 4 people, so that has to be a fake. Man, there's just so much clever stuff going on almost everywhere. Just railing the government, man, just nonstop with this stuff. So I thought that was very well done, very clever. And then this one, things are severely broken if this is what it comes down to. So in the UK, the government plans to introduce restriction zones, and that will lock sexual and violent criminals into specific areas instead of excluding them from others. So the change is to give victims the freedom to go anywhere else without the fear of meeting their offender. If this is what it's come to, you've got a very big problem if you're going to start doing this kind of stuff. But this is what the left does. This is how they solve problems. They don't actually do what they're supposed to do. They solve it in a very poor manner, a very sad manner. We got 14 Yetis. Guys, we need some more people. 1 in 14 chance right now of winning a Badass Yeti. Dave Portnoy, which you guys know, he runs Barstool Sports. Very sort of an outspoken dude. I love his pizza reviews, to be honest with you. It's weird because you can't taste it. Most of the time it's in a city where I can't try it. But I really do like his he really gets into, the pizza, and he rates them, and it's fun to see him kind of go through there. Well, here he is on Fox. Let's listen in.
More politicians should be adopting socialism. I think that it's really important to be class conscious and remove ourselves from this neoliberal idea of it's okay to do capitalism and exploit workers.
Blah. Makes me want to puke, Stuart. That's how I feel about that.
Seeing people like Dr. Mamdani, AOC just gaining so much more footing and so much more recognition in the policy field is very empowering.
Listen, these are college kids. They've never probably had a job in their lives. They've grown up probably coddled, reading books about how the world is, but they've never been in the real world. I don't like any government where it disincentivizes initiative, working hard, and that's what socialism does. I'm all for, taking care of people and trying to give back, but you know what entrepreneurs do? They create jobs, they create livings, they create wages. I just fundamentally look at the world. Socialism doesn't work. There's plenty of examples of it. And I just fundamentally have a hard time with a 19 or a 20-year-old who's never had a day. And I know you can resonate with this. You got a lot of mileage on those tires, Stuart. I just can't have somebody who's been alive for 5 seconds lecturing me on the ways of the world. I can't do it.
Well said, Dave Portnoy. That is right, spot on. Here is Dave Portnoy again. This is him talking. He was on. I think he was going to the Met Gala. He was going somewhere, but this is him interviewing this guy in the street. Listen to this.
Gloves are those? Are those receiver gloves?
No, they're I don't know.
What about so? Are you anti capitalism? You don't like people with money and shit like that?
Well, I mean the thing.
Because I'm rich as fuck.
Well, I mean,
do you think if you worked as hard as I was rich as I was, had a house in Nantucket, vacationed on the beach, had beautiful sunsets at the galley, you'd be walking around with a mask on right now?
No, I'm not going to betray my values for that. I'm not going to build myself up by exploiting other people's labor and push my way to the top that way.
Have you ever been in Nantucket?
No.
Beautiful.
You ever been in Nantucket? Man, that is some funny stuff right there. Got it. You got to love that. And finally, Poland has a new president, and this is his speech. I will turn down the volume here because I don't speak Polish, and I don't know if you guys do, but I'm going to turn that down low, and I'm actually going to read what he's saying here. But this is Karol Nawrocki. He was just, he's the new president of Poland. Poland and Hungary have a very different way of conducting themselves in the EU. But here he is. I'm going to go ahead. He says, my Poland is without illegal migrants. Yes, it's a Poland without illegal migrants. Is a Poland which instead of integration centers, there are deportation centers for those who want to destroy our country. There you go. This is Poland. This is Poland is what they're chanting. This is Poland. Here's Poland. There they are. That's it. That's the video. So yeah, they've just said, like, you know, they don't want immigration. They want to preserve their culture. They want to preserve their way of life, and that's what they want to do. They don't have to. What is the pressure to let people in? Well, why would they want to let anybody in if they've got long tradition? I've been to Poland. Poland's a great country. You got great food, great people. I mean, if I visit Poland, I want to go to Poland because of the Polish customs, because of the Polish food, because of the Polish sites. It's the same way I want to visit France. I want to visit France. Yeah, I like diversity, but if I go to France and I don't get to eat croissant, if I don't get a good croissant, if I don't get a good, you know, French cup of, you know, a cappuccino or something like that, well, is it France anymore? You know, if I don't get to see, if it's going to get destroyed, what's the point? If people want to go to another country and they don't want to assimilate, then why do you leave your own country? Just if you're not interested. I mean, there's a lot of different reasons for that, but culture, language, and borders is what define a country. And as long as you lose one or two of them, you don't have a country anymore. So what's the point? You know, I mean, people that come to the U.S., for the most part, they want to assimilate. They want to come here. They want to come here for the American dream. They want to work hard. They become Americans. That's how it works. And that's how it should work everywhere. It should work that way everywhere. If you're not interested, why come here? What's the point? So I don't understand how that, man. So there you go. Though, let's see, Poland. So I wonder if Holland would be considered a racist country because there's no blacks or Hispanics there. I don't necessarily think that. Well, there's a million Muslims there. So, and most of them have darker skin. So there you go. You have a million Muslims. There's 17 million population. They're in the Netherlands. So, and there are some blacks and Hispanics. I know that for a fact. I've been there multiple times. And they're Dutch too. So don't think that there aren't. They are there, and they are Dutch, and they speak Dutch. So that is there because I have been there. Time for another crusade. Just saying, says Chad. Another crusade. Well, you got crusades were to take it back. So there is some thought right there. And let's see, what else do we have here? I wanted to, it was, guys, it's amazing, but this was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, a businessman showed up on the scene that changed politics forever. And I wanted to play this classic bit just as a memory of what happened 10 years ago. Here we go.
You don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account
only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't. Your Twitter account.
Now, you kill with that line. Trump, so quick on the take, right? And Megyn is fully in the Trump camp now. Back then, she was on Fox News, and she's paid to, you know, blah, 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 blah. But she's totally, her show has changed. She's changed dramatically as well. And I love Trump banter here.
Thank you.
For the record, it was well beyond Rosie O'Donnell.
Yes, I'm sure it was.
Your Twitter account has several disparaging comments about women's looks. You once told a contestant on Celebrity Apprentice it would be a pretty picture to see her on her knees. Does that sound to you like the temperament of a man we should elect as president? And how will you answer the charge from Hillary Clinton, who is likely to be the Democratic nominee, that you are part of the war on women?
I think the big problem this country has is being politically correct.
You notice they don't let people into these debates anymore. They don't want clapping. They don't want any of this stuff.
I've been challenged by so many people, and I don't frankly have time for total political correctness. And to be honest with you, this country doesn't have time either. This country is in big trouble. We don't win anymore. We lose to China. We lose to
Oh, how much we're winning today, people.
Mexico, both in trade and at the border. We lose to everybody. And frankly, what I say, and oftentimes it's fun, it's kidding, we have a good time. What I say is what I say. And honestly, Megyn, if you don't like it, I'm sorry. I've been very nice to you, although I could probably maybe not be based on the way you have treated me, but I wouldn't do that.
Genius right there. Problem is political correctness, and we don't win anymore. Pretty simple stuff, man. Not a lot to to miss out on there. There it is. Crypto Bird Dog. Yeah. Boom. There it was. So that was 10 years ago. Can you believe that was 10 years ago? I was shocked. I saw that. I said, my God, I can't believe it's been 10 years already. Seems almost like yesterday, but no, that was 10 years ago. It's insane, man. It really is crazy talk. Look at this. So this is another true story, but an Australian doctor lost his right to practice. Listen to this. This is a crazy story out of Australia.
Medical license was suspended in 2019 for demeaning social media posts, including very offensive content like Babylon Bee jokes.
Yeesh, the worst. Those guys are the worst.
Look, I'm proud of being found guilty about Babylon Bee things, to be quite honest. I think that it helps to show how bad the situation is over here, really. That a Christian can share things from the Babylon Bee and lose their career over it.
So are you a doctor like Dr. Jill Biden over here, or are you a real doctor? I have a weird lump on my back. Can I show it to you? Or
yeah, after the show.
So do you like Bluey?
Bluey? Oh, yeah. Do you guys watch that over there?
Yeah, like just me by myself, not with children at all.
The sorts of things that I believe and say about these topics are unacceptable for a licensed practicing doctor in Australia.
So those two guys right there, in case you were wondering, are the two guys that they have a podcast, and they are pretty much the Babylon Bee. They read all that great stuff and those phenomenal headlines that we always have known to come and love. I think it's one of the best parody. It reminded me like how the Onion used to be early 2000s. But it's one of the best parody sites. So I don't know if you know this, but Dean Cain, who played Superman on TV, he's now joining ICE. So this is a little funny little takeoff. It says, drug cartels begin using kryptonite to fend off ICE agent Dean Cain. So obviously he was Superman, kryptonite, haha. Then we got this one here. The Democrats warn a new Trump census could negate all the illegal alien votes Biden brought in. Finally. Gina Carano settles with Disney, will replace Pedro Pascal in all movies. Yeah, if you go to the movies, he's like in 4 or 5 movies that are out right now. It's like, so that's the joke there, taking over on the Fantastic Four. So there you have it. There you have it, guys. Let's get into this Yeti drawing. I want to get this Yeti drawing going. We've got 15. You got a really good shot at winning today. So you have a 1 in 15 chance unless anybody else enters. Let's see if anybody else will enter. Let's see if they will actually do the work. Let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and put the screen up, and we will go ahead and do the drawing. We've got 18 now, guys. You got a couple more seconds to pull those in. So when I share the screen, it's a go time, baby. Let's see what we got. Actually, what I should do before that, let me actually share what you're going to win, what you have a possibility of winning today. And this is Badass Yeti. It's a White Tribe member. This guy here, he is an ass kicker. He's from the Ass Kicker clan. And his name is, where's his name here? I'm looking for his name. Oh, that's right. They don't have names. White Tribe. Sorry. I don't even know my own Yetis. Ass kicker right here. Let's look at him. This is what you have the chance to win right there. Look at that. Look at that. Bam. That's a little ass kicker right there. Got the sword, ready to go, ready to do some major assaulting there. That's what you have the chance to win. And let's go ahead and let's do this drawing. Ready? Got 21 in here. You got a 1 in 21 chance. Let's go. Who's going to win? May the best person win. Let's go. Here we go. Who is it going to be? Who will win today? Who's going to be the winner? Who will be the winner? Boom. Mike said he wanted to give it away to somebody. So we're going to do another drawing. Isn't that funny that Mike said if he won, he would want us to give it away? So we'll do the draw again. That's the way to do that. We will go ahead and draw again. So here we go. Let's go. Draw again, guys. So you have another shot at it. Got a 1 in 20 chance this time. Here we go. Let's see who's going to win. Who is going to win? Who will it be? Joe Buddy wins. Joe Buddy wins a Badass Yeti. And he wins this Badass Yeti, a little ass kicker right there. So I'm going to need you, first of all, to check in and make sure that you are here. Number 1, I need to know that you are in the building. You're still here, jokes. You gotta be here to win. So we need to know if you are here and in the building. Are you here and in the building? Because then I will go ahead and transfer you over. Let's see. Yeti. Let's see. Finally. Joe's like, finally. Yeah, man. Finally you won. You want a little ass kicker too. Love it. All right. So go ahead and get your wallet there while you're getting your wallet. And guys, tell me if he does post it. Because again, I don't necessarily see it in these lyrics here, these comments here. So I will need to know when it's posted. Finally, he says, yeah, you got to love that. So I'll pop over to the YouTube channel and see. I'll keep an eye on the there if I could see the actual. That's a great looking Yeti. It has a really good looking Yeti for sure. For sure. It's a really good one. Look at that, a little ass kicker. There he is, man, a little ass kicker. Look at that. There's a little gleam on the sword right there. Ready for battle, man. Ready to go. Yeah, a little ass kicking Yeti right there. Joe Buddy wins. Yay. Love it, man. Love it. Let's see. Let me pop over here. Have you put this in there yet? Let's see. Nothing yet. Okay. The wallet address we want is the whatever wallet address you want this sent to. So it's going to be in your Zaman wallet. That's the one. So whatever. If you have multiple accounts, the account that you want to save this Badass Yeti in, that's going to be the account. That's what it's going to be. Rigged. Says the winningest ever person to ever appear on the chain. That's going to be rocks. I'm laughing. So we go, so that's the one we want. So if you have multiple, it's the one that you're going to want this Badass Yeti to reside in, because that's the one it's going to be. Starts with an R. Does start with an R. Funny one. Good one, Chad. But you probably, I'm thinking you have multiple addresses. So you finally won. So I need your wallet address, and I need you to drop your, and I'm also going to need your, let's see, I'm going to need your, what's the name I'm looking for here? I'm going to need your X handle. Joe Buddy. I'm going to put this guy in there. Let's see. This one is Badass Yeti 1005. An ass kicker. Go ahead and put that in there. Today's date is 8/10, right? Is 8/10? 8/9/2025. And then we've got let's need your Sean there. Let's see. Starts with come on, man. Where you at, Joe Buddy? Where you at? I need it. Let me see if it's popped over here. I don't see it. No, I don't see the wallet address in there. Receive address. Correct. Yes, Sober. Thank you for that. It's the receive address. The send, not the send address. Thank you for answering the question. I think that was what he was asking. The receive. There's two. There's a send and a receive. You want to click on the receive. You can click it and copy the address and just pop it in the chat. That's how you do it, man. It's not hard. Just go ahead and do that. That's all it is. That's all it is, man. And then we'll end up with 2 baby videos and we'll be out of here and on our way. Thank you, Joe. Thank you for posting that. What's funny is I actually saw it here. It is there. I see it, but unfortunately, it's funny because what's weird is it showed up here before it showed up in the there it is. Okay, let me see. Because I'm unable to copy it out of there either. So that's the other weird thing. So let's go ahead and let's do this together. Let's do this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to send this to you. So I'm going to transfer it. I'm going to put your wallet address in. Let's see. It ends in a 2Z, starts with an R like Chad told me. I'm going to hit transfer. I'm going to sign off on this puppy. Let's see. Here we go. And verifying. It is verifying, people. And it is gone, man. Submitted successfully. See that? Bam. Successfully. So you are the proud owner. You are the proud owner. Yeah, the Bills Giants today. I forgot about that. Dude, thank you for reminding me. I was watching the game last night with some buddies and the Lions and the Falcons, and man, that injury looked bad. Oh, I haven't got an update on that yet. I don't know if you have an update on that injury, but man, they ended the game. Looked like a neck injury. It looked really bad. Steelers are in Florida, your place, playing Jacksonville tonight. NFL is back. Yeah, it's good to see. Thank you for that, man. I totally forgot about that. Preseason's, it's fun to watch. Kind of see like what the talent looks like, see who's going to be doing what. And so, like I said, I can promise you 2 more baby videos here. Play these. Somehow they've taken these. And the second one you'll recognize. Jeff and I play quite a bit here. Charles will like that one for sure. But let's go play these 2 back to back here. And then we'll get out of here. I know we ran long today. That happens, 1 hour and 30 today. But we had a lot of stuff to run through. And it was great to check in with Jeff at the top of the show. Always a good thing. So looking forward to getting him back. It's a lot to carry the show by yourself, and I miss the banter. It's always great to kind of have the back and forth. All right, the first clip we're going to show right here is a story that RFK Jr. told on the Roseanne podcast. It's a funny story, but it's even fun. For some reason, it's even more interesting when they convert it to the baby. I don't know why that's so funny, but I don't know. I just like it. So it's good watching these classic bits as babies. They use AI to make them look like babies. So here we go. Oh, he's okay, good. So he's not, yeah. That was an injury looked bad, man. It looked like maybe like a spinal injury or something like that. It's good to know that he's okay because that was just like the Chiefs play tonight. Chiefs going to come back, roaring back. They had a great draft. The Chiefs always have a good draft. They have really great scouts, man. They do an amazing job. And I hate them because they always knock my bills out. But they're a great team, man. Trying to build a new smartphone, says Jim D, before market soars, 2-factor authentication, hard to port to a new phone. It's not hard, dude. It's actually pretty easy to port to a new phone, but you got to have the old phone. Got to have the old phone. I never turn my other phones in. Always keep your old phone for the authentication, and you can move 10 over at a time if you're using Google Auth. I just got a new phone, so it is a pain in the ass, but you can move 10 at a time by scanning a barcode. You scan the barcode on the new one. But Jim D, do you have the older phone? If you have your old phone, it's easy. If you didn't have your old phone to keep it, yeah, it's a little more difficult. Always keep your old phone. Never give it in, especially if you have sensitive stuff on there. You don't want that in other people's hands. Better for you to get everything off and know you have everything off before you wipe the phone yourself. You don't want to leave it to chance. So that's just my way. But here's the first one. This is baby RFK Jr. telling a story. You guys may have heard the story, but this is it's a good story. Here we go.
In a group of people falconing up in Goshen, New York, up in the Hudson Valley. And I was supposed to meet them there at like maybe 8 or 9. I was driving up maybe, really early, like 7. And that woman in a van in front of me hit a bear and killed it, a young bear. So I pulled over and I picked up the bear and put him in the back of my van because I was going to skin the bear. And it was very good condition. And I was going to and put the meat in my refrigerator. And you can do that in New York State. You can get a bear tag for a roadkill bear. And at the end of the dinner, it went late, and I realized I couldn't go home. I had to go to the airport. And the bear was in my car, and I didn't want to leave the bear in the car because that would have been bad. But I said, let's go put the bear in Central Park, and we'll make it look like he got hit by a bike. It'll be funny for people. So everybody thought that's a great idea. So we went and did that, and we thought it would be amusing for whoever found it or something.
There you go. That was a good one. Had to take a break. Happy you won, Joe. Now you're in the club, in the Yeti club. Finally, Joe comes through with the win. And then this one, shout out to Charles for this one because he requests this often. So we're going to play this. Shout out to Charles Tomarello. So here we go.
Not only are we going to New Hampshire, Tom Harkin, we're going to South Carolina and Oklahoma and Arizona and North Dakota and New Mexico. And we're going to California and Texas and New York. And we're going to South Dakota and Oregon and Washington and Michigan. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House. Yeah!
Faces of the babies. They're like, what? Baby Howard Dean. That's some funny stuff right there. My God, that's some good stuff right there. Howard Dean. Yeah, that's a good one right there. Yeah, you see the looks on their faces, those babies at the end. That was some funny stuff. Look at the look on
Not
their
only
face
are we going to New
after he does
Hampshire-
the scream. There we go.
White House.
The look on their faces. The babies are like, they're stunned. They're like, It really does look like baby Howard Dean, too. That's so funny about that. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see. What else? That's it. That's it, guys. Jess says that trading on XRP is starting to look like it was a 60 cent, but now it's at $3. $3, baby. There you go. Old phone blew up. The display's dead. Yeah, you might be able to get that serviced. I have a similar problem where mine won't connect to Wi-Fi. Not a good thing. There's some stuff that I wanted. Turns out if you have a Circle account, or not Circle, a Signal, if you have Signal, even though I have it on my desktop, and I can still communicate on my desktop with all my people from over the years, I use the Google Voice number, and the Google Voice number was taken away from me. It used to be 561 24/7 chip, and then because I didn't use it, they ripped it up. They reclaimed it, and I can't. I even tried calling the number. I left a message. I even texted the person who might have that number, saying, "Hey, could you help me out? I can send a one-time code to put it into my phone to be able to change the number, to get in there and change the number, because you have to change it on the phone." Stupidest idea ever. Why don't you have an email that you could constantly use? So I didn't realize it because I lost the number about a year ago, but I set up the Signal account even longer and forgot how I set it up until you have to actually do it. So just a major pain in the ass, man. Yeah, that was about the only thing people will forever remember about Dean's political career. What a dud. Yeah, that's the funny thing. Looks like Jeff leaving South Korea. All right, there you go. Top marks, beautiful. Guys, celebration is out. I am soon to be out of here myself as soon as I find the right thing. But thank you guys for coming in. We'll see you tomorrow night. Jeff won't be here. He'll be jet lagged. He'll probably be back on Wednesday night. Although there's always an off shot he could make it. But I would plan on seeing Jeff on Wednesday. Do the show tomorrow night, and we'll go from there. So that's how it works. So guys, we will see you guys on the next one. Chip and Jeff from South Korea. Ow! See you guys in the next one.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.